Hello and welcome to the video. My name is Nex, this is Zerotick, and I hope you're having a fantastic day because I'm about to make it even more fantastic with 2 tutorials for insanely fast sugarcane farms, which are cheap, all fit in a single chunk. None of them use slime or minecarts or any sort of resource that takes a lot of effort to gather. And it can all be built before the nether. So no quartz, not anything like that. And they are both very cheap and also very easy to build. So in this tutorial I'm going to show you 2 different types of sugarcane farms. Well, technically 3, or maybe, no, not 4, just 3. And they are very easy to build, and I'm going to show you step by step how to build them. So we are going to start simple. So what you can see here is a single plant, very simple to build, Zerotick sugarcane farm. And we can just toggle this lever here, and it makes quite a bit of noise. But yeah, as you can see, it produces sugarcane fairly fast, actually very fast. And if you want to know how this works, I have an in-depth explanation video about it, which I will be linking in the description. And yeah, keep in mind that I haven't discovered this mechanic. It was Panda4994. And yeah, anyways, looking at the farm, it is 1 wide. Well, technically not, since you have to cover up these blocks so the water doesn't flow out, and these here so the sugarcane falls straight into the hopper. But it is technically 1 wide. It is not tileable, and you don't want to tile it anyway, because that would be kind of too expensive for, yeah. And yeah, it is very simple to build. And I am going to show you how to build this. And one thing to keep in mind is that this design can be converted into a bone meal farm, but I'll get on that later, using composters. So this farm will give you about 1,100 drops per hour. And here are all the materials you need. So you can go ahead and pause the video and take a screenshot. And do keep in mind that this is an estimate amount. You don't need exactly 64 solid blocks. Any solid block will do. And you just need to make sure that you got enough and you don't run out. Alright, so we are going to start building this. So you simply start off by placing a block here. Then you place one there. One here. One right here. What you do then is place a torch here. You have your redstone repeater on 1 tick here. Redstone dust. And this will be the main clock, which will activate the system. And what you want to do now first is put a lever right there and toggle it, so it doesn't constantly fire while we're trying to build this farm. And then what you want to get yourself your barrel, and right there your hopper, which will face into the barrel. Then you want your piece of dirt, so right here, and then you take a single piston, which will go right here. And this is already starting to take shape. What you want to do is then place a piston right on, a torch right on that piston. Then make sort of a shape like this. What you want to do next is grab yourself a stair. So I'm just gonna grab myself a stair. Place it in this direction, very important. And what you want to do next is just go on both sides and cover up so the water doesn't flow out everywhere and explode. And then you can just place down the water. What you want to do next is put 1 more torch right here. Put 2 dust right here. 1 piston like this. Then you can place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks like this. 2 more blocks like this. And before you place in the sugarcane, which will be the final step of this very tiny farm, just wants to like quickly have this run for a second. This is so that the water flows down, we can actually place a sugarcane. And yes, we're just going to place this. And the last step is just to close off this, and the farm will be fully functional. So if we just turn this on, we should see sugarcane going in any second, as you can see. And yeah, I am just going to get a couple of glass for a second, and then you will be able to see that it does indeed work just fine. And as I said, this farm will give you about 1100 sugarcane per hour. I don't remember how much of a chest this is, but I recommend building this farm if you don't need an insane amount of sugarcane at once, and you just you just have a very efficient, lag-friendly single plant farm that will give you sugarcane over a long amount of time, fairly quickly, like a conventional big design. But I recommend this if, if you just want some small thing that you can run all the time, and you'll have a decent amount of sugarcane after quite a while. And one thing to note is that all these designs are realm friendly. So of course they will cause some lag, but they will not break in lag or anything. They will work just fine. Next up, we have this very similar but slightly modified version of this in order to get bone meal out of this sugarcane by using a composter. So this is the same idea. We just have hold on, let me just yeah. So this is the same idea. We have Zerotick like module. So basically just forces the sugarcane to grow, and this will be shot into a composter, which will turn this into bone meal. So same as the other farm, I recommend building this if you don't want a high amount of sugarcane or bone meal quickly, but if you just want to run this over a long period of time and then have a decent amount of whatever you wanted, so for that one the sugarcane and for that one bone meal, and yeah, if you just want to run this all the time basically. And yeah, it is very lag friendly, so it probably, no, it will never cause extreme amounts of lag. It is absurdly useful for how tiny it is though. So these are the materials you will need for the composter version of the same farm like over here. And yes, it is a single plant composter version. And yeah, so let's get on how to build this. So like the other design, building is very simple. So you just want to start off by placing a salt block here. Place your lever here in order to toggle the entire thing. Place one barrel right here. Then you want a repeater on one tick. Actually, it can be multiple ticks, but one tick is just best. So then place a solid block here. Place a piece of redstone dust here. Then one solid block here. One solid block here. Place a temporary block here. Then one there, and break that. Put your torch right here. Then what you can do is place a repeater here on one tick, and the clock will start up to prevent lag and make building easier. Let's just do this. And yeah, so that is the first part of the composter farm done. What you want to do next is place your hopper right here, your composter like this, and a hopper right on top of that composter. Then get your piece of dirt, and then get your first piston. Go right here. What you want to get next is your stair. So actually, for consistency's sake, let's just take the other. Place a temporary block right here. Place your stair right there, and then you want to place a torch like this on the side of that piston. Then make that weird shape again. Place your second piston like this, and two pieces of redstone dust like this, and you will already have the main redstone done. Then just cover up both sides again to prevent water from flowing out. Put that water in there. What you want to do next is place another torch right here. Next up, just cover this up so that no sugarcane will fly out. And before you close up this completely, just place your sugarcane right here. And then you have it close up. And then you have the entire thing completed. So yeah, let's just turn it on for a second. And you will see that not bone meal. Sugarcanes will start to flow in. And, well, not flow in, more like, you know, whatever. But, yeah, the sugarcane will go in. And, over time, this will generate a fair amount of bone meal. So if you don't need bone meal all the time, and, you just want to, like, come back once when you need bone meal and then you have bone meal, this is the perfect design for you. And yeah, this is the entire thing done. It's pretty compact and cheap. And, yes, this will give you bone meal. Now we are moving on to the spicier stuff. So, we have this design, and it is 16 plants. So 8 plants on one side, 8 plants on the other side. And all of the components can be gathered before the nether. And the most expensive part is basically the pistons. But it's fairly easy to get. It's just cobble, redstone dust, iron, which is basically the most expensive part, and yeah, some wood. And basically, let's just turn this on. This is as lossless designs. Like the other two designs, they are lossless. It's lossless, and you will never lose any sugarcane. And yeah, this is highly efficient. This is if you want a very large amount of sugarcane in a short time. And as you can see, the sugarcane just flows in like crazy, like there's no tomorrow. And yeah, I just put the glass here so you can see what happens, as it's actually not important. And yeah, so this can be basically converted very easily into a bone meal farm, a faster one than the other one. And this is very simple, so just break that. Put 2 composters here. Then just put your chest right here. And yeah, just have hoppers facing into the chest. And one thing to note, if you are using if you are just using it for not bone meal, for sugarcane, you're probably going to want more than a single double chest, because it fills up so insanely quickly that yeah, that you are guaranteed going to need more than a single double chest. And this design produces about 16,000 sugarcane per hour, and about 2 stacks of bone blocks per hour. So yeah, leaving this running gives you quite a lot of sugarcane or bone meal. But you need to keep in mind that this is a fair bit more laggy than the other designs. And if you are playing on a realm, I would highly recommend only turning this on when you actually need it, because this might get you some complaints from other realmers. Yeah. But nonetheless, this is a very simple to build design. Most expensive part is pistons. And yeah, so let's just get to how to build this. So these are the materials, and keep in mind that it says 2 water buckets, but that is just to make an infinite water source. So actually you only need 1 bucket and an infinite water source, but it depends on where you're building this. So you're just gonna have to place down an infinite water source. It's very simple to make. I'm sure you know how to do this. And yeah, it says 4 stacks of solid blocks, but it can be any solid block, and that's just an estimate. So you might need more or less, and you'll see. And one thing to note is that yeah, you just need 2 more hoppers and 2 more composters if you are going to make this into a bone meal farm. But other than that, it's very cheap, and the glass panes can be any color. But yeah, you only need these materials, and this will get you an insane amount of sugarcane. And because I'm an idiot, I forgot that you still need 16 sugarcane for the materials. But other than that, let's get to building it. So I recommend building it in the center of a chunk. So yeah, this is a chunk 16 times 16. And I have a chunk visualizer, whatever, which shows where the chunks are. But if you don't know much about chunks, you can just leave it. You build it anywhere you want. But yeah, I recommend building it inside a chunk, because Bedrock doesn't like the borders having being crossed by forms. So just start by placing 2 chests right here. put 2 hoppers like this. What you want next is just place 3 solid blocks on that side, 3 more solid blocks on that side. Then what you just want to do is basically cover the sides of this up. So you can just do it like this. Very simple. Alright, this is very simple. And then I forgot to include this in the materials list earlier, but you need to put 2 buttons there. It can be any buttons, it can even be signs, but I recommend buttons because it's literally just one piece of wood. And then you would just want to put in water here and there. And that is the first part done. Next up, you need to put dirt going all the way down here. This is to plant the sugarcane. And next up, you just want to take pistons. Put 8 on this side. Put 8 on the other side. And this is going to be the part that accelerates the growth. Next up, place some stairs here. So you want to put on the edge the stairs in this direction. So let's go ahead and do that. And this is just in order to for the water to not flow out. So you can just remove these temporary blocks, then just pull stairs across like this. And yeah, that's very simple. So next up, just take solid blocks and corrupt this all the way so no water flows out, because that would be very unfortunate. It would break all the redstone below. And yeah, just do the same on the other side. And with that done, you can now go down here. Put a line of blocks right next to the pistons. Like this. And yeah, that is going to be where all the redstone dust goes. Next up, just actually no. First up, let's get your pistons and place them in a line like this. This is in order to break the sugarcane. And then just waterlock all of these stairs. So take your water bucket and right click on every single of these stairs. Yeah, it needs to be every single one. And this will ensure that the sugarcane actually has water to be planted. Speaking of which, let's place down the sugarcane. So on each dirt block, one single piece. Then you want to go ahead and take your glass panes. This is very important so that the sugarcane doesn't like explode onto the other side. Next up, go ahead and take solid blocks or glass or whatever, and just fill in the sides like this. This is so that none of the sugarcane actually goes somewhere else where it shouldn't go. This will ensure that all the sugarcane goes right into these water streams and into the collection system. And just close it off. And that is the main enclosure complete. What you want to do next is just one solid block here. Then you want a piece of redstone dust. Actually, let's take the materials. Yeah, place one lever here. One piece of redstone dust like this. One solid block here. One solid block there. Temporary block, solid block. Yeah, that's what you're going to need. Then a repeater on one tick. Let's just toggle this. Next up, you want to put a torch there. And actually, you can remove this block over here. One more torch right here. And then you want to put one torch on the side of that block. Normally, you could put it right here to make like a standard torch tower. But this is not going to work because that glass pane wouldn't connect anymore, and the sugarcane actually would have a chance to fly on the other side, which would not make this farm lossless. So just have it on one side, doesn't matter which one, like this. And what you want to do next is just put solid blocks right here. And then just go ahead and take all your redstone dust, get it on a line like this. And yeah, that will actually hook up the braking system. It doesn't matter that this is open or that, it will not affect anything. And next up, just take all your redstone dust, pull it across like that. Very simple. And then you can just take 3 solid blocks on each side, and that will basically take care of everything you need for this farm. So this should actually be fully working right now, so it does a lot of noise. As you can see, the sugarcane starts flowing in like crazy, and yeah, it will produce sugarcane at a very high pace, well, very high speed, whatever. And yeah, this is the second design almost complete. The last thing you need to do, which is optional, is cover this entire redstone up because it is ugly. But other than that, it is fully functional. But last thing you can add, if you want to farm bone meal, is just break these chests, or well, you want to place them in the first place. And then just put your 2 chests here, and 2 hoppers facing like this. And that is actually the entire design complete. As you can see, none of the components were using redstone. What am I saying? I'm stupid sometimes. Yeah, what I was trying to say, none of these components use any quartz. So you can build this entire thing before putting down a single portal. You can build this before going to the Nether in the first place. And yeah, this is actually all there is to it. This design is highly reliable. It won't break upon unloading the chunks. And a good thing about this is that it only uses 2 hoppers. And yeah, because hoppers are probably the most expensive thing in the game right now, since iron farms are pretty bad. And yeah, this fits inside a single chunk, which is 1 big bonus. So that does it for today. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial for these very simple and reliable sugarcane farms. And yeah, I hope you get a ton of use out of this and a ton of sugarcane. And as I said before, I have an in-depth explanation video, so if you are more interested in how this actually works versus just building it and getting tons of sugarcane, the link to it will be in the description. And make sure to share this with your friends who need tons of sugarcane, because everyone needs tons of sugarcane. And it has been my pleasure to be your host, and I hope you enjoyed this, and have a nice day, evening, or whatever time it is for you. And my name is Nex, see you again soon, and goodbye.